Hey guys, what's up? In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a GUI in Roblox since nobody can figure out how to do it. Last video, I don't know why, but it was blurry. I think it could have been my recording. I was using a different encoder, which wasn't good, so I fixed it. So yeah, we're going to be making a UI in this video. So yeah guys, hope you guys like the video. So, let's start out by making a screen GUI, call it whatever you want. We could, oh crap, call it whatever you want. We can call it, GUI tutorial. Okay, just call it GUI, it doesn't matter, you can call it whatever you want. So, the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure, so for this one, we want to make sure it's always in the middle. Okay, so how we do that is we go to anchor point, and we do 0.5, comma 0.5. So the anchor point of it is 0.5. So you might think, well, that's retarded because now it's over there. So then what you need to do is you need to set the position of 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0, which will put it in the center of the screen. And then, if you go over here to size, you can do 0.5, 0, 0. Now, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because you're like, oh, well, that's not the full size. So if you want to make the full size, you do 1, 0, 1, 0. Now it's the full size of the screen. Now, this is the background, so we're going to make it invisible. Let's add in a text button and do the exact same thing, 0.5, 0.5. Then we're going to set the position of it to 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0. Then we're going to set the size to 0.2, 0, 0.0. Now the reason we're doing that is because we're going to edit it later, but we also have to add in a UI aspect ratio constraint. Now we can set this to like 2 or whatever we want it to be, probably 3. Yeah, 3. So now, since it's anchored there and it's set the position and all that, you can move it around. You can move it around. So we put it like there. And then, as you can see, it auto scales to the screen like it's supposed to. So now that we have that, we can edit it to however we want. I always like to go grayscale type of thing, because I think gray looks cool with the UI. So yeah, just edit your UI however you want. I'm going to do a test button. And then scale it, because it'll scale to the size of it, so it doesn't look retarded. So yeah, you want to remove the outline thing, and then you can edit this. I always like to do like a grayish type of like thing, not like white, but not black. It's kind of confusing like that. So here's our test button. You're like, okay, so it scales like it's supposed to, which is good. Now, let's say we wanted it to, tween whenever we join the game. So we can do that one of two ways. We can move this frame, which this thing's actually supposed to be in frame, which I didn't do before. But yeah, so we can have this frame, the whole thing, go up. So how we do that is we have to insert a script, do a normal script, that way it doesn't glitch out. It's kind of weird. So you do script.parent.mouse button down or click on function. Sometimes it glitches out depending on what you're trying to do. Wait, what am I doing? Function. I don't know why face is always pops up. Okay, so whenever you click, it's going to do one thing, right? Okay, so let's say we wanted to have something come down whenever you clicked it or whatever. Or you want like a UI to come up on the screen. So in the same frame, we're going to insert another frame. And we're going to do the same thing that we always do. 0.5, and then position 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0. And then we're going to set this to like 0.5, 0, 0. Never mess with this number because it'll screw everything up. So now that we're here, we can insert a UI aspect ratio constraint again, because if you watch this, sometimes it glitches out. See how it's doing that? So you want to insert a UI aspect ratio constraint. So we'll just duplicate that, put it in the frame, then we'll just edit the number by 1.5. So we'll have this thing in the middle, and it'll always scale to there, like it's supposed to. So now we're just going to customize this. Like I said, I do a gray type of thing, but I like to make them a little different, just depending on what it is. Like this is a background, so we might add a outer line, like 3 or something, so you can tell it's a little different. So that kind of looks weird. Let's change it a little darker, I think. Okay, that looks pretty much about the exact same. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we have this UI here, and this UI here. So let's say we want this to come up from like the bottom or the side or wherever you click this. So what you do is let's define a variable. So local UI equals script parent. So we're going to this, and then we're doing it again, .parent, which will put it in frame, and then we do .frame, because it's looking for this frame. So then what you do is once you click, you want the UI, and then you want, which all you're doing here by doing the UI is you're calling this frame, which is what this is. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tween. So we're going to tween position first off. So tween position. If you ever get this like white thing popping up on your screen, and if you ever try to do anything, it deletes the wrong item. So how you get rid of that is if you look next to your enter key, there's a thing called INS. I don't know what that's for. It's kind of stupid. So if that ever happens to you, one time I did that and I turned my computer off because it wasn't working right. Because I pressed that. Very smart. Okay, so we're tweening position. So how you get tween to work is if you've never done a UI tween, you need to get a UDIM. So we're going to do UDIM2.new because we're making a new one. Then what we need to do is we need to set some variables. So we need to set where we want it, which is 0.5 from 0, 0.5 from 0. Sorry, I'll press it again. 0. So we need to set where we want it. It might yell if we don't do zeros. Yeah, so that's where we want it. We want to set what type of direction we want to go. So depending on the thing, you can either do in or out. Depending on it, you will get a different thing. So if you're using like bounce and you do in, it'll bounce in one spot and then go normally in the other spot. If you do out, it does the opposite. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. So we can do in or out, comma, space. And then in parentheses, we want to do what we're doing. We want to specify what type of tween we want. There's like linear, sim, bounce back, and like Quint and all that other stuff that I don't use. So I normally use bounce, back, sin, and linear. I'm going to use back right now because I think it looks cool. And then we want to set the time that we want to do it for. So let's just say 2 seconds. That's a pretty long time, 1.5. So we're putting it to 0.5 to 1.5, which is this thing. We want to set this to be the position of this. Now, what we need to do is we need to set this to 1. So that way it'll go down. It's 1.5, because since we set the anchor point to 0.5, it has to go 1 below that. Because if you just set it to 1, it'll be right here. Set the 1.5, which will put it right here, down there. So if we play the game, it should let the UI come up. If it doesn't, I probably spelled something wrong. So we click it, it comes up. So I use back. Now we use in too. So if we do out, it'll do a different. Here, let me show you what I mean by that. So if we have in, let's not do back. Let's do bounce, because that's what I think bounce is the most like. What do you call it? The most movement. So we click it. See, that was opposite. So you kind of want it to do that. Now, if we set it to out, it'll do a different animation, and it'll do the bounce at the end, at the top, instead of at the bottom. So if we watch this, it'll bounce like that. Which, if you like that, cool. If you don't, whatever. So let's do in. I'll just do sin, actually. No, I'll just do linear, because it's the same exact thing as sin, except a little different. So let's change the timing, because that's a pretty fast UI, actually. Now we're going to do something cool here in a second. I'll show you guys another thing I've learned through UI. So as you can see, it'll always be in the center, no matter what. If we click this, it'll be right here, like it's supposed to be. which is cool. So yeah. Now here's the thing I learned. So if we want to do something cool, right? So let's say you wanted to set the background of it to something after you enter it or whatever. So if you do script.parent.mouse enter connect function not faces function. Okay, so we have this one. We're going to copy this and we're going to paste it. Now one's going to be enter, one's going to be leave. The reason for that is because whenever you leave, so whenever you leave the area, it's going to change the color back, but whenever you enter it. So it's kind of confusing, actually. So let's take this, and we're going to do, let's just set this one on because this is what we're doing, script.parent.background color 3 equals color 3 new. Paste that in. We're going to copy this. We're going to paste it, but we're going to change the colors. So let's say we want it to be red. So red is this one, so 255 is the max color, 0, 0. So whenever you enter it, it'll change it to red. Once you leave, it changes it back to the thing. If it doesn't work, then it's not color 3. Okay, it is color 3, as you can see. So it changes it, but I did something wrong. So let's see what I do. Background color is that. Color 3, I don't know why it's changing it. B6. Oh, color 3 from RGB. Okay, it's from RGB. It's a little different. I'm pretty sure it's from RGB. Actually, let me try that. I'm pretty sure. Because if you don't do from RGB, it's going to give you a weird number or a weird color. I'll show you in a second. Like, as you've seen, it made a white, which makes sense because all the colors are the same. That's how white's made, and every color is the same. But we're doing an RGB thing. We're not doing it from color 3. Well, we are, but it's a little different. As you can see, it does what it's supposed to. It kind of glitches out. I don't know why, but whatever. So you enter it, it changes the color. You leave, it changes it again. So that's working. So you click it, it'll do this. Now, let's say we wanted to make a GUI come out from the bottom. So let's do nope. Control G. Remember that button. That's your favorite thing. So we're going to duplicate that. We're going to remove the script. We're going to rename this back. Now here's something cool. If we put this in here, okay, and then we set the position to 0.5, 0.0, it'll put it in the center. If we set the position or size to 1.0, okay, and then we tween this. So once you enter it, it's going to tween it. So script.parent.back :tween. We're just going to copy this pretty much. We could have used a harder type of thing. 0.5, let's say 8. It's going to be pretty far actually. So yeah, Control C, Control V, and we're going to set it to 0.5 again. So it's going to be back where it was. So yeah, whenever you enter this, it should make it lower. So it'll look cool. It'll look cooler once we change the color, because right now it's just the exact same color. But yeah, it does what it's supposed to, obviously. But yeah, it's actually ahead of it. So what we could do, since this is on top, let's just change this z-index to a 2. So that way this one's on top and this one's on bottom. And then let's just change the background color to like black, since it changes once it hits it. Obviously the color thing's kind of weird. Yeah, so as you can see, it goes pretty far down. Sometimes it glitches. I don't know why it does that. Like whenever you leave, it doesn't do it or whatever. Tune position. Get them to 2.5 on your 2 seconds. Let's do like 1 and 1. So don't know why. Sometimes it glitches out. I'm probably doing something wrong, but sometimes it glitches out. And it'll, like, not go back. See, if you, like, go too far, or you, like, go too fast, it'll, like, not do it. That's way too far, actually. 0.065, maybe. So it's 0.15 longer than what normally is. Which is still long. Maybe just 0.1 is fine. You just gotta mess with it and see what does good and what looks weird. Yeah, as you can see, it's kind of glitchy because of how it was scripted. So let's do like 5.5. Because it only moves 0.1, but the timing is so like long that it looks glitchy. Here we can change it a little more, like 0.3 or whatever. You just gotta mess with it until it looks normal. Yeah, there we go. That's normal now. So, yeah, cool. So here's this. Now, okay, let's say we wanted, here, let me put that frame back so we can mess with it. So, position point. So, let's say we wanted to add, like, a scrolling frame, maybe? So, here's something I learned. If you're going to make a scrolling frame, which you probably are, do not use the, okay, look, if you use grid layout, you will not have fun. There's a reason for that. Grid layout is kind of crap. Yeah, so I'll show you what I mean here in a second. 0.5, and okay. And yes, I do use Photoshop most of the time to make my images if I actually want to make it look cool with like curves and all that. But yeah, I'm not doing that right now. I don't really need to. So yeah, make that invisible. This actually looks cool with the sidebar, I think. Except for this stupid side thing, so we can turn it off. You just make the bar transparency to 1, and it's pretty much invisible, and you just set this to 0. So that way it's not all the way over there, so you can't really see it, which is good. So you want to insert, okay, if you insert a grid layout, okay, you're going to have to set the cell size, which you don't want to do, because it will glitch out whenever you do something normal. So if you do a list layout, it's normal. So let's say we inserted a text button. You can size it to whatever you want. So anchor point 0.5 and 0, 0. Obviously, position 0.5 and 0, 0. Now, there's a reason we're doing that. We're going to set it up here. So that way it's not inside of the scrolling frame. So, as you can see, it's not. So, let's do what? 1.0, 1.5. That's huge. Okay, 1.0, 1.0. Maybe 0.1. Yeah, okay. So then we just go into this layout thing, and we can change the size. I do like 5 or 3. Sometimes it looks weird if they're too spaced out. So as you can see, there's buttons and all that. And you would be able to click them if you scripted them the same way we scripted the test button. So, you know, script that parent button, click, blah, blah, blah. This one. Click works better. Okay, it depends on what you're doing. Mouse button.click works a little better than down, but it really just depends on what you're doing. So if it doesn't work the way you want it to through like what you're doing, then change it, obviously. Yeah. So as you can see, it changes all that, which is cool. So that's pretty much that. Now let's say we did what I did in my last thing I made, which was pretty cool. The last thing I made was a converter. So if you play the admin simulator that I made, there's a couple things in that game with the UI, which is cool. Right now it's not working. I don't actually know why, so I'm going to try to debunk that in a little bit, because I need it to work, obviously, because it's not working as of right now, which isn't good. I don't know how data store works with local or getting data store as 2 different things at once. Because I have a cache data store, and I have a time data store, but the cache data store isn't popping up. But they're both the same type of data store. Like how can I describe it? Crap. That's confusing. Okay, so we have this dot. So we duplicate that and scoot it over. So this is pretty much how I made another one. I just did one of confirm and one of cancel. So there's something cool you can do. If you go up here, you can script text, right? So if you don't know how to script text, it's pretty easy. I did the wrong one. I did 0. Okay, confirm. Let's not make it bright like it was on the other one. I'm gonna fix this soon. I was just making it look cool-ish. It's kind of annoying now because you can't really see what's going on because of how bright it is. Yeah, so we need it green. Oh wait, that was backwards. Cancel is supposed to be red. Okay, I like that red color. Let's just copy it and put it in here. And then just make a new green color. Like just find something that's green. Cool. So as you can see, we have a cancel. Well, we don't have it yet because we haven't built that part. That cancel looks a little off. Okay, good enough. So you know, confirm. You just set it to the text to confirm, and you set the cancel to cancel. Okay. So here's a quick little scripting thing. So, I'm going to show you guys how to get a local... I'm going to be doing another data store tutorial soon to figure out why mine isn't working. So yeah, so let's say we have two values. One, this is just, obviously you wouldn't have int values in here because people can just change it. But let's say we had one of like, you know, value of like, I don't know, time and cash or whatever. So, we're going to have Roblox do some math, which is great. So, let's say time is, you know, 100, and cash is like 200. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a text value, which we have to put in the frame still, which I haven't done yet. So, text label, or, yeah, wait, text label? Yeah, text label. We're going to put that into frame, which it already is. No, it's not. Frame. Okay. We already know what we're going to do. 0.5, 0.5. Position to, or size to 1.010. Now we're going to edit this. I already know. 0.5. Okay. So now I just got to edit it so it's not over the text like that. Cool. Perfect. So, as you can see, it's already the right size. So, we're going to script this text to do something. So, let's open up a script. So, how we're going to do this, obviously I didn't edit it, so let's actually edit it before we script it because it'll look better. Set transparency to 0, that's what I, or 1, that's what I always do, because it shows the background. Set the text scale, and this text doesn't matter, it's going to be overwritten by the other text, so we'll just set it to like gray, because I like gray, if you couldn't tell by now. So yeah, we're just going to do a couple things. So we're going to call some functions here, obviously. So we're going to make a couple local functions, or not functions, variables, sorry. So local cache equals script.parent. So we're going to this, and then we're going to do it again to get the frame, parent, cache. And then local time, or times, because you can't do time because it yells. Script.parent, .parent, .time. Now, obviously, you do it different if you know, did it like you're supposed to. So, now as we have it here, so let's do a script. So we have to do while, wait. You never want to do while true do unless you have something like somebody already made that like works, because sometimes it never works. You do while true do and then wait 2, so it doesn't glitch out where you just do it like this. It's kind of confusing. So let's do a 0.1, so it'll or not there, 0.1 actually. So it's going to wait 0.1 of a second, and it's going to set it. So that way it'll always update depending on whatever it is. So let's see. So we need to set the text. So script.parent. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Script. Parent. Okay, so we're getting the text label, so that text equals. So this is where the fun comes in. We're going to script it to where it changes the thing. So, like I did in my game, if you do, you know, you set the right a thing, are you sure you want to convert, let's say cache space, dot dot, cache dot value, cache dot value, dot dot. So are you sure you want to convert the cache value space to space, we're going to do math. So we're going to do, let's say you convert cache to time. So 2 time the value plus plus cache value. So what it's going to do is it's going to set the cache. Actually, hold on. Let's say what we're trying to do. So we're trying to set the time. So so what we're doing is okay, are you sure you want to convert, and then the cache value with the $sign to time value, which is whatever, plus cache time value, time. So if we look at this script, it should work. Yeah. Are you sure you want to convert cache? But I name them something different. Cache not value and time not value. Text equals oh, I'm done. To string. To string. Okay, let's try that. So it should convert, because it's a number value, so it has to convert it to a string. Normally I don't use, string. There we go. So, are you sure? Okay, let's remove that space. I didn't think about that, because, yeah, so. Are you sure you want to convert $200 to 300 time? Because it takes the time that's already there and convert it. So, we have to do insert a script into here. Script parent click. Let's do click this time. It just depends on what you're doing. I've already said that like 10 times, but it depends on what you're doing. Okay. So if you click that, then it's pretty obvious. If you're going to data store, you have to do local player equals script parent blah 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 blah, or you just script the parent local player parent if you're using a local script. But good luck. So yeah, with a define couple things again. So the same thing. We just copy this. So if it's clicked, then times dot value equals equals times dot value plus cache dot value. Jesus, I'm holding shift too long. Oh, Jesus. F11, thank you. Okay. So, times that value equals blah, blah, blah. Then we're going to tween it. So, obviously, we're going to define what the tweening is, which is, okay, I keep it way too close. Local UI equals script dot parent dot parent. So, we're going to do the same thing again, except UI, we can just copy this script that's already in one of the scripts. Not that one, this one. Just copy the tweening. You can paste it, so B, and then UI, which is already defined, UI colon tween position 0.51, so 1.5 in linear, blah, blah, 0.3, let's do like 2 or something. So it'll tween it down, and then we're just going to copy this whole thing. And actually, let's just copy the whole script, duplicate, put it in cancel, obviously, but then remove the cache value and everything else except for the tweening. Oh crap, and UI, do not remove UI. So it won't work. Okay, so in theory, you play. Hi, are you sure? Cancel. Boom, test button. Blah blah blah. Confirm. Boom, now it's 500. Test button. Whatever. Okay, because it didn't set the value to 0, because I forgot to do that. Cache value equals 0. Because we have to set the value to 0, that we're just going to screw up. Value is 0. So, I always want to tell you those. Okay, so, make sure you want to convert all out of 0. Yes, so it sets it to 0. And again. Cool. So, test button again. Pop up 300 times, because we have 300 times, because it didn't matter. So, if we check in the, let's see, I think it's server side. It might be either server side or not. Oh, wait. No, it has nothing to do with what I was thinking of. UI, frame, cache, which is perfect. Cool. Press cancel, tweens down. So yeah, there's a couple more things you can do, like what we want. We can tween size too, which is cool. So let's take this script. So if you click, we're gonna tween the size of it, which is gonna be weird. We're gonna wait to UI, but then change position to size. You could do 2 at once. I don't know how to do 2 at once, so I just do it separately. Yeah, so linear. So now we're just going to set the frame size to 0. Not position. Wait, is that the right frame? Oh yeah, I was working on it, so this should be 0.5 or 1.5. It should be 0, 0, 0. Cool. So tween up, and then 2 seconds after it's done tweening, it should get bigger. There it is, and it's bigger. Cool. So yeah, it comes up very small because it's still there, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty lit. So we can actually make it visible off. That way we can set it to do what it's supposed to, and then after it's done tweening the first time, it'll set visible UI dot visible equals true. So it's invis, so it can go up, you won't see it, and then once it's done going up, it sets it to visible and it's bigger, in theory. Perfect. Blah blah blah. Click confirm, it'll go down, or whatever you want it to do, honestly. So yeah, that is how you do UIs. If you want to tween this, I guess we could do that really quick. It doesn't take that long. So, let's see, where's the button? It's over here. So, let's add in a script. I think that's a button, right? Yeah. Done in a script really quick. It's a very quick script, actually. Let's add in a wait, like 2 seconds, or 10 seconds, I guess. Script dot parent. No. Yeah, script dot parent. It has to get in the frame. Script dot parent dot text button. Whoa, text button. Text button. Colon tween position. We'll just set it tween position to whatever the position is, which is this. Tween position, that, and then remove the little squiggly line things. Udem to dot new. Then you have to set it into parentheses, and then you have to do the N or whatever you want. It has to be a capital at the beginning. And sin, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. I just call it sin or sign. I don't know what it actually is. So 2 seconds. So whenever you join, take a second. Oh wait, oops. I didn't set the position of it before it gets there. So it's at 0.5 of the screen. It'll be at -1, which means it'll be over on the left side of the screen that you can't see. So it should move. Obviously, you would change timing and all that. See? It does what it's supposed to do. Boom. You can obviously, adjust the timing or whatever you want. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys want some more tutorials, just post in the comment section. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys later. Bye.